Yo, what's good? It's your boy Magnificent ENT. Stand up. Welcome to another episode on my YouTube channel. I'm glad to have you here. And today we're about to do something that's been requested by a couple of people on my comment section on YouTube videos and on some of my DMs. And people are asking, how do I mix my beats? Disclaimer, I am not the best beat mixer in the world. I am not the best beat mixer in the world. So I'm going to give you to it how I mix beats. Not necessarily what you need to do to mix beats. But if you like the way I mix, you can take some of these hints in mind. And I appreciate you if you did. And I appreciate you giving me some suggestions to making videos. So this video will be the first of many videos that I'm going to show you some of my mixing process. I'll drop one each week along with my Sunday's Best Beats vlogs. And I'll show you each time and how my process of mixing. And this is the beat I've chose. It's called Native, which it has like a Native American melody to it. We're gonna go ahead and mix this beat and show you the first steps I do in mixing this beat. Anyway, if you're new to the channel, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. I'll be doing these videos each week if you did not know. So, once again, I want to bring out the disclaimer. I am not the best mixer in the world. So do not give me any unwanted critiques. And if you're going to give me critiques, you better have at least over 1,000 subscribers and making money off your beats on YouTube and prove it to me. Do not come to me with that crap. Now, it's not that I hate critiques. I will accept critiques better than most people accept critiques. But if you got nothing to show for it, don't comment. Don't critique. Don't do anything. Don't be like, well, we're a fan, man, and our fans should have a perspective on how you should make your music. No. You at least have over 1,000 subscribers. Then I can't say anything. I can just look at your videos and learn from you. Other than that, if you don't got no subscribers or no proof that you are somebody of significant use in the music game, don't give me any critiques. I already made mention I'm not the best mixer in the world. But anyway, let's get into my process of mixing my beats. Now, as many of engineers have, they have a step course on how they mix their beats. The first thing I'm going to show you is a thing called the static mix or balancing, which basically means I'm going to be playing with the faders on each of the beats. Now, as we listen to the beat, you're going to notice how raw the beat sounds. There's no EQs, there's no anything in the mix bus or master faders. There's no compression. It's just straight raw beat. I just made the beat and I saved it. And if you look at the faders, everything is completely straight. So let's listen to the beat. Now, if you look at everything, the master fader, it is clipping like crazy. It is clipping like crazy. That's loud, and that's how I used to make my beats back in like 07, 08. I used to bring everything up loud, thinking that's everything good. But no, loud mix is not necessarily the best mix. And that's how sometimes your ears trick you. Your ears say to you, louder is good. And that's to the untrained ear. It may sound that way, but to engineers, we know what sounds good and we're mixing it right. Now, the first thing I do is want to get a level mix. That requires two things. One, making sure that each element is good. In this case, it's a trap beat. So my main goal is make sure the drums are driving and the percussions are driving. So I need to turn all the vox and the melodies down to a level where it's not disturbing the drums. Sometimes the melodies can overpower the drums. And second, I'm looking at the mix bus fader or the master fader, and I'm making sure I have this thing called Headroom. Headroom involves making sure that you have space for either compression or limiting. We'll get into these terms later on throughout the mixing process, but I'm pretty sure I'm talking to people who know these esoteric terms. But basically, I want to make sure that the fader is under 3 dB, between 3 dB and 6 dB. Some people shoot for 5, some people shoot for 8, but between 3 and 8 to 3 and 6 is my goal. I want to make sure the fader is between there. And then this is very important. And before I do anything, I'm not putting any EQs in. I'm not putting any compressions in. The first thing, my first step is to get a level mix. And then I'll work on doing EQing and compressions and all the other stuff. You see that in the next videos. So I'm going to be quiet here and I'm going to go ahead and mix. So watch my mixing process. Okay, well, if I was doing this for the rest of the night, which I am, I would probably loop this probably for about 10-20 more minutes to make sure everything's good. So you notice what I did, the drums are driving, the melodies are lowered in the drums. One of the quickest things I ever learned to make sure your drums are driving is make sure you just turn the fader down on the melodies and the sounds and the voxes, because sometimes they can be very overpowering, especially with the stereo fields they have in the VSTs. So the first thing I did was turn those melodies down. And if you ever notice me with the mouse, if you haven't noticed, go back and watch the video. I'm always clicking the master fader to make sure. Right now you see where it is right here. Right now it is probably at 4 or 5 dB below where I need to be. That's pretty much the target where I want to be. I probably would drop it a little bit lower, probably like a couple more dB lower, which I'm probably going to do in a few seconds, because I want to have a little bit more headroom, because when we get to the next part, which is EQing, we're going to knock off some levels. Which is going to make some things quieter. Then we're going to add some frequencies or boost some frequencies. It's going to make something more louder. We want to make sure this is balanced first, because when we start to take some off and make something more louder, we're going to have to take the output down on the EQs or the compressors or whatever the case may be. But this is pretty much where I want to be at when it comes to leveling the mix. This is what you call the static mix. So I'll be doing videos like this each week. Next week we're going to talk about how I EQ my tracks. We're going to go over some of the ways I EQ different tracks, some of the frequencies I take out and don't use, some of the frequencies I boost in different tracks, especially when it comes to my 808s. I don't know if I do anything new, because everybody does something funky with the 808s, and that's crazy. But I do use a little bit of parametric EQing with my 808s, and that's something I want to show you guys. So thank you for another episode on my YouTube channel, How I Mix. Again, if you're new to the channel, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. I'll be doing these videos each week. And if you like what I got going on and want to support my channel, shoot a donation to my CashApp and shoot a donation through my PayPal. Either one is good. And for those who've been donating, I appreciate the donation. It helps out a lot. You know who you are. I'm not going to have to say you by name. And Magnificent ENT merch. Merch is on the way. I'm working it out right now with Shopify, and hopefully by the next month or so I have merch on my page and be able to sell merch. And I got hoodies and masks for sale, so we're looking forward to selling the merch. And if you're a producer, you like one of my beats, another way, or you're a rapper, like one of my beats, another way you can help out with this channel is also by shooting a donation my way through BeatStars by buying or leasing a beat. So go ahead and do that. So thank you for another episode on my YouTube channel, and as I always say, this is your boy A Magnificent.